Hi guys, how you doing? Happy Easter Sunday, happy vlog 15, happy welcome back. I'm actually in the middle of a Kuwait storm just now. I don't know if you can see how soaked I've got. I did not expect this when I came to Kuwait. I feel as if I'm back in Scotland. I'm walking through the grounds of the Jumeirah. I'm trying to stay warm, trying to keep all my camera and video equipment warm. Dry, sorry what am I talking about, it's still roasting. Trying to keep everything dry but still trying to give you a good audio. And my plan was I was going to go out in the car and record something, but my car only came back 5 minutes ago. It's already 9:10. It's getting really late and the roads are so slippy, like it's really treacherous conditions because of this weather. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to be out here with the rain and a bit of the wind, and literally the worst hairdo ever. Made even worse by the fact that I grabbed a shower beforehand because I was feeling so tired. I've been on Snapchat today doing a bit of a Snapchat story of my entire day, because at the end of Hustle Week last night, I basically gave a bit of an idea as to how a startup entrepreneur should be managing their time on a day. So on a day when you don't have any meetings, what you can be spending your time on and focusing on. And I thought, it's Easter Sunday, nobody else is working. Why don't I do a Snapchat story of what my day looks like? Because this is, by all intents and purposes, a quiet day, and it was mental. They're all mental. Like, they're always something comes up, always something that you don't expect, always something that you're not prepared for. I've been going since 6:15 this morning, which is when I got up and started doing like social media and Instagram and responding to tweets and going on Facebook and doing stuff with the vlog and everything. So I've been recording it since 6:15, so this is now like 9:15, so this is hour 15. Like I say, I had a shower about half an hour ago just to wake myself up because I was feeling absolutely shattered. I've had sugar, caffeine in the last hour, because once I finish this vlog, I'm going to upload it, and I've probably got another 2 to 3 hours work ahead of me because I'm working on a really super important project just now, and a couple of other things which are really important for the Glasgow and Kuwait offices as well. So I want to get them all finished by tomorrow. So I've got another couple of hours ahead of me, but it was quite interesting to see as I was documenting my day. When I was looking back through it, I was realising how many different things I do in a day and how many things come up and how hard it is to explain that to people. You know, it's like when you tell people what entrepreneurship is going to be like and what hustle's like, you can't really explain just how much you need to be ready for change, just how aware you need to be of your surroundings and how reactive you need to be and everything like that. I'm going to start trying to move a wee bit up because the wind's really bad down there. I don't want the sound quality to be too bad. So as I was going through my day, I got contacted by a friend of mine, Suzanne, on Facebook, and one of her Facebook memories was linking back to my very last day of employment. And on my very last day of employment, the girls in the office had got me like some really, really lovely presents. I got vouchers and stuff, but they'd also got me a couple of joke presents as well. And one of the joke presents was a prepaid envelope for the HR department of the company that I worked in. And they gave me the envelope and they said, you know, this is if you ever want to come back, haha, you know, as a joke. But the underlying message was, if you fail so bad, or if you fail so spectacularly that you can't even afford a stamp, the door is always open. And that stuck with me so much, and it hit me that much that the next day I went out and bought a frame, and I framed it. And in the last 2 years I have moved house about 6 times. I've moved country twice. I moved down to England and I moved out to Kuwait, and I've moved office once. And that framed envelope has came with me every single time. I look at it every day, and on days when I'm having a really particularly stressful day, I put my hand on it and touch it and just connect with it again. And what it does is it reminds me of where I've been. And that means that no matter what that day throws at me, it's not as bad as that feeling I had in that job. It's not as bad as the feeling of being stuck, of being helpless, of being unchallenged, of being unappreciated, of being unmotivated, and of having no control over the rest of my life. And no matter what I have to go through to make the next few years a success, I know that it's going to be better than what I had to go through just to get through the day back then. So that led me to then think a wee bit more about what we were discussing with Hustle Week. And it's interesting because when I look just now at what I do during the day, for example, if you check out my Snapchat story, it's Amy Angela, which is AMI. That's just a normal day. This is a normal, quiet day when nobody else is working. So this is a day when nobody's trying to get hold of me, nobody's emailing, nobody's expecting me to get back to anything, and I'm still running about daft all over the place. And I love that. That's the bit that I really, really like about it. And if you're anything like me, and that's what you're looking for in a job, or that's what you're looking for in a lifestyle, then that's what you're going to get. And that's the best thing in the world. So hustle isn't about working so hard that it breaks you, or working so hard that you alienate your friends and family, or you don't have a life, or you hate it, or you're depressed. Hustle's about every single day doing exactly what it takes to live this life that you designed and that you love. And I hope I've managed to get that across, because I think sometimes when people talk about how hard they work, it can come across as a bit of a oh my god, look at me, I do more work than you, that means I'm more successful. And I had a bit of a conversation with a fellow entrepreneur about that today, which was quite interesting, because it's really interesting to hear people do that, and I really hope that I'm not coming across like that. But the only thing I can compare to is my own experiences, and I genuinely find that the harder I work, the faster I get to where I want to be. And yes, there are sacrifices along the way, but it's not as big a sacrifice as going to a job every single day and coming home a miserable shell of a person and sharing that unhappiness with the people that you love. So I genuinely think that if you're doing something you love and you're getting something from it, that's much better than, a long day of doing something you love is much better than a short day of doing something you hate. So I'm going to call this vlog really early tonight because the wind is terrible. I'm still in a storm. I'm getting wet. And I'm like standing under shelter, and I'm still somehow managing to get rained on. And I think what we're going to do this week is do a whole week of leading up into talking about the stress and overwhelm, which we were talking about before. I was going to do that this week, but actually I think it would be good to keep with kind of doing it in order to talk about the causes of it this week. So what we're going to do this week is look at the different things through entrepreneurship which might come up and cause you problems. So the issues that you will face, the differences between what you're doing and having a job, and a wee bit of how to deal with those. And I'm going to be speaking to a couple more experts on this holy grail of work-life balance this week, and how to avoid it as an entrepreneur, because it's a very important topic, and I don't want to just give it lip service. I think when we talk about it, not this week but next week, I'm hoping that you'll get a lot of value from it. So I'm going to leave you with that. Well, I was going to say I'm sorry it's a shorter vlog, but you're probably really, really happy about that. Back to normal tomorrow. Don't care what the weather is. I'm going to have much more planned for you. Apologies for this being a bit unplanned and just a bit of me rambling about finishing up Hustle Week. But happy Sunday to everybody. Happy Easter Sunday. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Right, cheers. Bye bye.